Iga Świątek. Coco Gauff have fallen short in Aryna Sabalenka's dominant era. Roddick suggests Aryna Sabalenka has outlasted Iga Świątek and Coco Gauff to maintain her #1 ranking, according to legend Andy Roddick. Aryna Sabalenka has been dominating the WTA Tour for over 2 years, reaching multiple finals and lifting major trophies. Currently, she is enjoying arguably the best form of her career, reaching the finals of 5 tournaments since the 2025 WTA Finals. The 2003 U.S. Open champion Andy Roddick is highly impressed by the Belarusian's dominant form, comparing her with other top WTA stars on the latest episode of his Served with Andy Roddick podcast. Andy Roddick analyzes Aryna Sabalenka's dominance on the WTA Tour. Sabalenka first rose to the top of the WTA rankings in September 2023 after her runner-up finish at the U.S. Open, losing to Coco Gauff in the final. She initially held the top position for 8 weeks before losing it to Polish icon Iga Świątek after the 2023 WTA Finals. After winning the Wuhan Open in October 2024, the Belarusian clinched the top spot again. This shows the consistency of her performance over the past year, as she has dominated other competitors while maintaining the top ranking with 11,025 ranking points as of March 30th. 2026 that American legend Roddick addressed this impressive stint on the latest episode of his Served with Andy Roddick podcast, recapping the 2026 Miami Open. Speaking about how she's become almost impossible to beat on the WTA Tour, he said, "She's making these margins so small to beat her. You have to play like Rybakina did in Australia and like Rybakina did in Indian Wells, where she almost beat her." He noted that over the past few years, other top stars have challenged the Belarusian for 6 months, but she has always emerged on top the more. Coco Gauff's mother offers bold advice to help daughter rebound from Miami heartbreak, but it's weird like Sabalenka over the last 3 or 4 years has gone through, 6 months at a time, taking people's best shots, right? IGA, she kind of took over from IGA, and IGA was right there. They were trading off, and then IGA has faded a little bit, he said, addressing the recent dip in the form of world number 4 Świątek. Then, talking about Gauff's breakthrough year after winning the U.S. Open, Roddick added, "Coco came and got her a couple times, but now Coco kind of is not the dominant player. Rybakina comes in, and let's see if she stays there. Is Rybakina going to be here in 6 months? And I know Sabalenka is." This confidence from the American shows just how consistent the Belarusian has been over the past few months, knowing she will be at the top even after 6 months, when her current competitor, world number 2 Elena Rybakina, might not. Concluding his assessment, Roddick said, "It's just she's able to kind of take the best shots, and sure, she'll lose sometimes. But she's the first one back on top of it. She is really mentally tough." The former world number 1's analysis clearly states that the Belarusian has been the one facing challenges over the past few years, and after her competitor's form dips, she is back on top of the list. Her initial rivalry with Świątek defined women's tennis for more than a year before Gauff challenged the Belarusian. After that, she had been the undisputed tour leader, with Rybakina now emerging as her new challenger. While the tennis world was focused on Carlos Alcaraz's unbeaten 16-match streak, Sabalenka was the one improving her record significantly. She started her year going unbeaten for 11 matches before losing at the 2026 Australian Open final against Rybakina since then. She has been on a 12-match unbeaten streak, completing a sunshine double, while dropping just 3 sets in the entire month. She started the year by lifting the Brisbane International title, defeating Marta Kostyuk without dropping a single set, showcasing her form in Melbourne. She reached the finals, finishing all of her matches in just 2 sets, and was on a 3-0 lead in the decider of the championship match before Rybakina mounted an impressive comeback to snatch the title from her at Moore. Coco Gauff sends message to Jannik Sinner after his historic Miami Open triumph. She returned stronger than ever, reaching the Indian Wells final, and took revenge against Rybakina by defeating her in the final. Sabalenka arrived in Miami with the same momentum and reached the finals. This time, she defeated the Kazakh star in straight sets in the semifinal to set up a highly anticipated clash against Gauff. Despite losing the second set, the Belarusian mounted an impressive comeback to complete the sunshine double, becoming the first woman since Świątek to achieve this feat and the ever-turning carousel of tennis greatness. Eras do not simply arrive. They announce themselves with force, with rhythm, with an unmistakable sense of inevitability. Some eras glide in quietly, carried by consistency and grace. Others, however, crash through the gates with power so commanding that even the brightest stars appear momentarily dimmed. According to Andy Roddick's recent suggestion, we may be living through such a moment now, an era defined not by parity, but by Aryna Sabalenka's overwhelming dominance. IT is a bold claim, especially in a generation that boasts talents as luminous as Iga Świątek and Coco Gauff. Both have carved out their own identities. Świątek with her clinical precision and clay court mastery, Gauff with her electric athleticism and fearless spirit. Each represents a different future for the sport, a different rhythm of excellence. And yet, when measured against the raw, relentless force of Sabalenka's current form, their brilliance seems, if not diminished, then at least interrupted. Sabalenka's game feels less like performance and more like a storm. There's an intensity to her shot-making that refuses compromise. Her ground strokes do not merely seek lines. They erase margins. Her serve does not invite rallies. It dictates them. Watching her play is to witness pressure weaponized. Every rally a test of endurance. Every return a negotiation with pace and power. It is this unyielding aggression that, in Roddick's view, has tilted the balance of the women's game. Świątek, for all her tactical intelligence, thrives on constructing points like a chess grandmaster. She probes. She adjusts. She waits for the moment when geometry and patience converge into opportunity. But Sabalenka disrupts that rhythm. Against such force, there's often no time to build, only to react. Świątek's elegance meets a kind of tennis that refuses to be choreographed, and in those moments, even her composure can falter. Gauff, on the other hand, embodies a spirit of resilience. Her speed allows her to chase down the improbable. Her mentality allows her to believe in the impossible. Yet Sabalenka's dominance presents a different kind of challenge, not one of belief, but of limitation. When pace becomes overwhelming, when angles collapse under pressure, even the most